Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to be dealing with our continuing theme about accessibility features on the Amazon Echo Show line of devices. In particular, today we're going to be tackling a feature that is called Tap to Alexa, which is specifically designed for those that may have some sort of speech impediment or disability. Maybe it could be simple laryngitis, or something like that would make it difficult, if not impossible, for you to actually verbalize a command to your Echo. So we're going to learn about how this feature allows you to utilize the touchscreen without saying a word to still get things done. So before we get into that in any sort of detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then I'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Hello, welcome back again. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about a subset of features under the accessibility options on the Amazon Echo Show line of devices, or I believe even on the Echo Spot that also has a touch screen. And we've talked about a number of different features already. We've talked about Zoom. We've talked about the screen reader functionality for those that are totally blind. Today we're going to be talking about one that's under the speech category. But before I get into that in any sort of detail, I am going to be using the A-Lady name quite a bit, so if you'd like to shut off the ears of any echoes you have in hearing distance, that might be beneficial. Otherwise, I might be tripping up your Echo. Alright, so I'll just give you a second to do that. While you're doing that, for those that are new listeners, we'd like to welcome you. The Echo Tips podcast is really designed to cover a short, quick, nuggetized components, features, skills of the Echo on a regular basis, and just kind of teach you neat little hints and things that you need to know about or might find interesting. My name is David Ward. I'm the Assistive Technology Instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill based in Southwestern Virginia. And for those that have been listening for some time, we really appreciate your listenership. And for those that would like to continue to support us, we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the episode. But obviously, if you follow us in your podcast player of choice, or you like us, or reshare us, you send us a message on Facebook or Twitter, all those sort of different things will help. So we really appreciate that. All right, so now that hopefully everybody's had a chance to turn off the ears of your Echoes that may be in hearing distance, the feature we're going to be dealing with is called Tap to Alexa. Tap to Alexa. It'll probably make sense here in a little bit when you understand how it works. But in order to find the feature, to enable it for the first time, you can swipe down, and this is the same way you would have found in former episodes where we talked about accessibility settings. You swipe down from the top of your Echo with one finger. That'll bring down kind of like a little shade with different options on it. You're going to tap the gear icon for settings. Then you're going to scroll down the settings list to near the bottom and tap on accessibility. And then in that next thing, we've been going through these pretty much, each one of these slowly. We've gone through vision, we've gone through some things under captioning and hearing. This is under the speech category, and you'll toggle on Tap to Alexa. All right, so once you've done that, what does that do for you? Well, you might have noticed a little pop-up when it came up that told you a little bit about the button that's going to appear on the screen now, and I believe even now you can maybe reposition where it's located. So once you have this feature enabled, basically what it allows you to do is to invoke commands on your Echo without saying anything. You can just tap a button on the screen to do it. Now, obviously, this is listed in the accessibility features for those that might have some sort of speech issue. It could be something as simple as having a sore throat or laryngitis and you can't really talk to your Echo. It could be you have some sort of other impediment or are unable to speak, you're mute. And we think also of the deaf community, that maybe individuals that predominantly speak by American Sign Language or some other form of sign language. This may be also a benefit to them. So, or you might just like it because you'd like to have the easy ability to tap a button to, have your garage door go open or to turn the lights on if you have any smart devices around your house. All right, so once you have this feature, you can go back to your home screen on your Echo. You could even just say, Alexa, go home. And on your home screen, in the bottom left corner, this is where I found that my button appeared, you'll have this Tap to Alexa button. Once you tap that, it's going to open up a grid of icons. I think it's about it's 2 rows of 4 each, so it's 8 buttons. And with one finger, you can swipe over to another screen with additional buttons. And I assume you can make multiple screens because you can customize here as well. Now, the very first button you'll see looks like a plus sign. It says Add button. We're going to come back to that in just a second. But the default buttons are Quick Question, Stop, Weather, Timer, News, Alarm, Shopping List, Music, Sports. Now, some of these are on the second screen. Joke, Traffic. Okay, so that gives you an idea. Now, obviously, those would typically be things I would say, Alexa, set a timer, right? But here, I can tap the button, and it will bring up a timer control thing where I can configure a timer. News, I didn't try, but I would assume that probably invokes your news briefing feature. So things like that. The quick question thing, that's a little more robust. When you would tap that, it'll pop up a little question box and with an on-screen keyboard, and you can type something. So you have the versatility of just not having static commands. You can even have it where it will come up and ask a query of sorts. So that's pretty cool. All right, now let's go back to this first one, which I have, which is called Add Button. So if you go to that, this allows you to program your own button, and you can type in the command that you want, and that's particularly pretty cool. You just type in, whatever you want it to be. Like, I'll tell you what, the one that I set up, I wrote Alexa Shields Up, okay, because that's a routine I had created. And after I do that, I think there's a next button in the bottom of the screen. I'm trying to tap my button here to. Okay, so after that, you're going to choose an icon you want to display on the button that you've created, and then I think you hit the Finish button, and you're ready to go. So now that I have, and you also get assigned a name to the icon as well. So I just named mine Shields, right? But the actual command that it's invoking is Alexa Shields Up. So now that I have that button, I'm going to hit it, and it activates a custom routine that I made. So let me do that. And this isn't perfectly mic'd, but hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Of course, now it went away on the screen. Let me hit the button again. All right, now tapping the Shields Up button.
Yes, sir. Red alert.
Alexa, stop. Okay, so that was a simple routine that I created. It said, yes, sir, shields are up, and then it starts to play some things from my Battle Tunes playlist. All right, so that's a little geeky feature that I had set up. But anyway, it gives you a little idea of how you can utilize this feature. And once again, let me shut my ears off of my Echo. This is called the Alexa to Tap feature. So pretty cool, pretty neat. Now you can imagine you could use that to invoke a video call for those that were speaking American Sign Language or the like, and different things like that. Or just in general, you'd like to have buttons to control certain things. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, well, in a future episode, we're going to continue to dive into the accessibility features on the Amazon Echo Show, and we might have little breaks and cover some different topics as well. But until that time, it's time to turn the ears back on your Echo, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and I forgot, I was going to mention ways, if you want to find out more about us, you can go to goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, all lowercase, no spaces. And also, if you're interested in sponsorship opportunities for the podcast, you'd like to support what we're doing, you're welcome to email our development team at development@goodwillvalleys.com. All right, well, till that time, it's time to turn your microphone back on, start practicing the things you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.